Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. This is Rafi Gutierrez again for another episode of Crossroads of Faith here in the channel Usapang Religion. So, forgive the sounds in the background. I opted not to use a headset this afternoon for a more natural sound. So, I've been thinking a lot about the topic that I was going to share today, and I wanted to veer away from the ultra negative topics I've been sharing the last several talks about my frustration with the issue on divorce, religion itself. So I wanted to take a break from that, and today will be a little bit more of a positive discussion on religion, which is really a kind of strange topic that I'm going to be sharing, because the topic is a good, healthy diet necessary for religious or spiritual practice. So my topic today basically revolves around what is necessary or what is essential in terms of what I personally believe can be considered an ideal, an optimum, or maybe even a perfect diet if such exists. So, why suddenly the topic of diet? Most of you who have followed me since I've started becoming active on social media and Facebook, here on YouTube, know that I used to be really big. Like I was pushing 90 kilograms, so that's almost a little over 200 pounds for those who are following the pound system. So 90 kg for somebody of my height of 5'7" is a little big. So if you look at some of my older pictures, even that go back just last year, I was really big, you know, and I wasn't proud that I had 44, almost 45 waistline. So I know that was a lot to lug around, you know. So I decided to find, I went on a path on a journey and asked myself if there was a way we can get thin without too much exercise, because I've become kind of lazy on the physical side of things, after moving here in the province and living a really relaxed lifestyle. So I found a diet called the carnivore diet, which is basically just eating meat and nothing else. I know this might come off as, wow, what kind of discussion is this, especially those of you who are vegetarian and vegan. Listen to me first, right? So I went on this I wouldn't say I actually went on 100% carnivore. I cheated once in a while, so I actually ate a little bit of vegetables, some fruits, you know. But what really disappeared for almost a period of 6 months was my consumption of sugar. So even until now, I don't consume white sugar. So I take coffee, black as it can get, pure black coffee. Once in a while, if I want a little bit of taste, I'll put a scoop of chocolate like Milo, but that's it. When I used to drink coffee, I would put, like, I kid you not, like 3 to 4 spoons of teaspoons of sugar. And that was basically just sweet coffee, right? So it was a very unhealthy lifestyle when you're basically just sitting all day and not really moving around a lot and eating to your heart's content. So I normally ate like food that was good for like 3 to 4 people per meal, right? So it was not surprising I gained that kind of weight. So when you get used to black coffee, like I would never take coffee without sugar back in the day, right? So after I did extreme, so the carnivore diet kind of spun off to an extreme keto, because I did not observe 100% just pure meat. So once in a while, I would eat something else that was not meat. but I dropped a little over 20 kilograms in a period of less than 4 months, right? So I literally lost almost 45 pounds in that 4-month period, and I felt healthy. The promise of the keto diet, which was I used to have like this mind blur, right? Because I ate like 3 to 4 cups of rice per meal, so all that sugar, all that insulin, just really made me sleepy to a point where I was just almost practically napping all day, right? Which is really, really unhealthy. So fast forward, after losing all this weight, so January 1 this year, I posted on my Facebook page. I was at 69 kilograms from the little over 90 that I started. So that's not bad. And some of you are asking if I exercise. I exercise once in a while. When I say once in a while, it's like once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, if at all. So yes, I actually lost a good chunk of weight just observing a very, very strict diet. So what am I here to share today, right? So I'll tell you this much. The problem with these fad diets, they're not sustainable, right? So it's impossible, especially when you're living in a country like the Philippines, where practically every dish doesn't really go well without rice. So I started eating some rice again, but not the amount I used to take before I went on the carnivore diet. So maybe in a whole day I would eat like a cup of rice. Then that's max. Or in one meal I'll eat 1 cup of rice, and the next meal I'll eat like just again meat or just a salad, right? So after all the experimentation, after all the different ways I tried to formulate what might seem to be the most ideal diet, right? Because I'm eating chocolate again, but I still don't put sugar in my coffee, right? But I eat some sweets. I eat chocolate. I'll eat mango or banana, right? That's technically still sugar, yeah. So my mullings, my recent conclusion about what the ideal diet is really what my Japanese friend or friends said, right? Because Japanese people, they don't have a secret diet. Like when I'm with my Japanese friends or the Japanese people I've come to meet recently, they eat everything. Like they eat rice, they eat fish, they eat meat, they eat salad, they eat dessert. They take milk tea, they drink iced tea. So, but you wonder why most Japanese people are thin and don't gain weight, right? And that's just like how you. So I had to ask my Japanese friends, like, how are you able to maintain such a slim body without gaining weight when you're eating everything, right? And here's what my Japanese friend said, right? We eat in moderation. We basically eat until about 70% capacity, or sometimes even less, like 50% capacity. Meaning, they only eat until they feel like they're okay, right? Meaning, there are no restrictions basically, just as long as you don't like eat just like pure fat, or like then a whole, like a huge pack of chocolates in one sitting. My Japanese friend said you can eat everything, but just small quantities. And like that's where it suddenly like dawned on me. Like Japanese people eat little. Like when you look, I remember when I went to Japan, their bento or their lunch boxes is much smaller than the bento boxes served here in the Philippines and in the US. Because the Japanese people, they consume a little of everything, so they taste everything. They'll eat rice, they'll eat fish, they'll eat meat, they'll, pork, steak, salad, chocolate, fruit. So they eat everything, but a little of everything. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and why I'm connecting diet with religion and spirituality is because the plain and simple truth is it's practice. It's difficult to practice any kind of spiritual practice, even as something as simple as Zen meditation. If you're feeling like nostalgic, if you're feeling unhealthy all the time, like I remember when I was really overweight, there was absolutely no way I wouldn't fall asleep 5 minutes doing Zazen, right? It was just impossible to sit still for more than a few minutes and not doze off to sleep, because there's just too much insulin in my blood that there's absolutely no way I'm gonna sit still for more than 5 minutes without dozing off, right? So now that I've lost that much weight and have been able to, I'm surprisingly, I'm like 72 kg right now, and so that's about 140 some pounds, right? From 190, almost 200. And I'm eating everything, guys. I'll be honest, like, sorry to my carnivore and my keto friends, but I'm eating rice, I'm eating chocolate, I'm eating fruits, I'm eating salad. I eat bento boxes, but the one bento box you get from the Japanese restaurants, I can make that last for 3 meals, right? Yes, I know, but that's the secret. This is what I'm trying to get at. If you want to lose weight, you don't need to cut. You don't need to cut out anything you eat. You can still eat everything. You can still eat all the meat, all the different varieties of carbohydrates, pasta, pizza, rice, fried rice, yang chow fried rice. But like my Japanese friend said, just a little bit, right? So I've learned to eat what I eat in one day. I used to eat in one day, I can make it last, and I kid you not, like what I used to eat in one meal back as recent as August last year, I can make it last 4 meals, right? Why? Because I used to eat like 3 to 4 cups of rice per meal, right? So that was really bad. Like, so an entire day, I would eat like literally half a pot of rice. I'm embarrassed saying that now, I'm turning red. Like, it was just horrible, like how I could eat. So, this is really bad. So one meal, previous era to now, can last 4 to 5 meals. So if I were to cook, right, what I ate would in one meal now lasts for 2 days or a day and a half. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. And why? Because it also saves money. Like, my grocery expenses have been cut in half. Obviously. So if you want to save money, eat less. So you hit 2 birds with 1 stone. You become healthier physically, and you become healthier financially because you're consuming less food, right? So that's the secret I want to share to everyone today. And so it's not a rocket science diet. It's not a fad diet. I'm not promoting any kind of new diet. It's what the Japanese people do, and what they've been doing for the last hundreds and hundreds of years, since the time of the samurai. I think that's when it started, right? To just eat in moderation, guys. And there's no secret to becoming healthier in terms of what you eat. Like, even the Buddha never really prohibited any any kind of like restriction in the diet. Of course, many Buddhists will say, no, you're wrong. Buddhists in general are vegetarians, but we're not like Zen Buddhists, some of us actually eat meat, like myself. So that's where I want to end today, and I encourage everybody to think about what I said, right? Hopefully this makes sense. Please, I apologize for my dog barking. This is where my talk ends. I hope everybody's well, and please continue liking, subscribing, and listening to our channel. Appreciate all the like, shares, and the comments. Many thanks, and gasho to everybody.